What would happen if the world turned upside down and Canada suddenly found itself in a global crisis, facing war, economic collapse, cyberattacks, or even a natural catastrophe? Who would really show up, not just with sympathy, but with action, resources, and loyalty? In today's video, we're diving deep into 10 countries that would stand with Canada in a global crisis, and one final country that would rise above the rest. This isn't just about treaties. This is about trust, history, strategy, and shared values that let's count them down. Number 10, Netherlands. The Netherlands and Canada share one of the most heartfelt and unique bonds in international relations. During World War II, Canadian forces played a major role in liberating the Netherlands from Nazi occupation. That act of heroism forged a deep emotional connection that has lasted generations. Every spring, the Dutch send thousands of tulips to Ottawa as a symbol of their eternal gratitude. But the connection is not just historical. Today, both nations are strong members of NATO, support liberal democratic values, and often collaborate in peacekeeping missions. If Canada were ever under attack or faced a humanitarian crisis, the Netherlands would be among the first to speak up, take diplomatic action, and even provide boots on the ground. When it comes to loyalty, the Dutch have proven theirs time and time again. Number 9, Japan. Canada and Japan may lie on opposite sides of the Pacific Ocean, but they are closer than geography suggests. These two nations are G7 partners, economic allies, and both deeply invested in maintaining peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. They have bilateral agreements in place for energy, trade, and innovation. From artificial intelligence to education, they cooperate closely. But more importantly, Japan sees Canada as a stable and peaceful ally in a volatile world that in the event of a cyber crisis, economic collapse, or even military escalation involving East Asia, Japan would likely stand shoulder to shoulder with Canada, providing technology, intelligence, and political solidarity. Quietly powerful, Japan's support would be significant and strategic. Number 8, New Zealand. Don't underestimate New Zealand because of its size. This island nation punches well above its weight in diplomacy, humanitarian aid, and principled foreign policy. As a fellow Commonwealth member, New Zealand shares deep-rooted historical, cultural, and political ties with Canada. Both nations are members of the Five Eyes intelligence sharing network, giving them an unusually high level of trust and cooperation in defense and cyber intelligence. When the world faces a crisis, climate disasters, regional conflicts, or refugee emergencies, New Zealand has repeatedly shown that it steps up without hesitation. Canada can count on them for more than symbolic support. They bring genuine alignment, reliable intelligence, and moral clarity. Number 7, Canada and France share more than language and culture. They share a powerful diplomatic and military relationship. France sees Canada as a global peer, a fellow power that upholds freedom, democracy, and international cooperation. In Quebec, French influence is deeply embedded in Canadian society, but the relationship goes far beyond cultural roots. France and Canada have fought side by side in major conflicts, contributed together in NATO operations, and collaborated at the UN Security Council. If a global crisis threatened Canada, especially involving European or Francophone regions, France would almost certainly mobilize its military, engage diplomatically, and use its voice in the EU to build a coalition in Canada's favor. France wouldn't just offer help, they'd bring international momentum. Number 6, Germany. As Europe's largest economy and one of the most influential voices in global politics, Germany would be a key ally for Canada in a time of crisis. The German-Canadian relationship is grounded in mutual respect, progressive values, and shared commitment to global stability. Both countries are active members of the G7, NATO, and the United Nations. They collaborate on green energy, artificial intelligence, and economic recovery plans. In terms of defense, Germany has one of the most modern and technologically advanced militaries in Europe. in a global emergency, especially one involving cyber threats, economic instability, or democratic decline. Germany would likely send aid, deploy support, and advocate for Canada in the European Union and beyond. With Germany, Canada would gain a voice and a shield. Number 5. Australia. Australia and Canada are often referred to as strategic cousins, two countries that mirror each other in values, governance, and global priorities. They've worked together in conflict zones, supported each other in trade deals, and consistently stood united at major global summits. As part of the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, they already share top-level classified information. Australia and Canada are also deeply connected through military training exercises, disaster response coordination, and Pacific region diplomacy. If Canada faced a large-scale cyber attack or political destabilization, Australia would not only issue vocal support, but also back it with real intelligence, defense coordination, and strategic resources. For Canada, Australia is more than a friend. It's a committed partner in global peace. Number 4. Norway. In the Arctic, Canada has few peers as trustworthy as Norway. These two nations cooperate on climate protection, indigenous rights, maritime security, and sustainable development. They are both Arctic Council members and work together on defense policy through NATO. Though small, Norway's military is elite and technologically advanced. But it's their diplomacy and strategic alignment that make Norway a dependable ally. In the case of an environmental crisis, Arctic conflict, or energy disruption, Norway would be a fast and active responder. They would likely provide logistical support, technology, and international advocacy, especially in forums like the United Nations and European Parliament. In any Arctic-related global emergency, Norway would stand with Canada without hesitation. Number 3. United Kingdom. The UK and Canada share centuries of common history, from British colonial roots to modern partnerships in security, law, education, and culture. Despite Canada's full independence, the two nations remain close, coordinated, and aligned. They are strong partners in NATO, cooperate heavily in intelligence through the Five Eyes Alliance, and share similar positions on international diplomacy, democracy, and human rights. In times of global unrest, the UK would be one of the first to offer not only words, but weapons, intelligence, and political force. Canada could expect the UK to provide military air support, cyber assistance, and financial aid. More than that, they would work together in G7 summits and the UN to build a global response. When Canada needs backup, the UK brings more than legacy. It brings leverage. Number 2. United States. No surprise here. The United States is Canada's largest trading partner, its next-door neighbor, and its closest military ally. The two countries are deeply intertwined, economically, culturally, and militarily. Through the NORAD Defense Pact, the U.S. and Canada jointly defend North American airspace. Their cooperation spans every level, from military intelligence and economic infrastructure to disaster response and cybersecurity. If a full-scale crisis hit Canada, the United States would respond immediately, not only because of obligation, but because of strategic necessity. A threat to Canada is a threat to the entire North American continent. Whether it's defending borders, restoring critical systems, or delivering humanitarian relief, the U.S. would be Canada's most powerful and most immediate ally. When Canada calls, America answers, with scale and speed. The one that stands tall, Canada itself. Yes, allies are important. But the number one country that will always rise to stand with Canada is Canada itself. Through every historic trial, from world wars to pandemics to natural disasters, Canadians have shown strength, unity, and resilience. Canada has one of the most professional, well-trained militaries in the world. Its disaster response agencies, intelligence services, and public institutions are robust and ready. But even more powerful is the spirit of the Canadian people. When times get tough, Canadians don't wait, they rise. They help each other. They rebuild. They protect what matters. In a world full of uncertainty, the greatest strength Canada has is its own ability to adapt, respond, and lead to while alliances matter, and global support is vital. The final and strongest force that will always stand with Canada through every storm is the maple leaf itself. There you have it. 10 powerful countries that would rally behind Canada in a global crisis. From historic allies to regional partners, Canada is not alone. Its values, actions, and leadership have earned it true friends across the globe. But when the dust settles and the world tests your limits, it's your own people who will stand tallest. Canada is ready. Canada is strong. And Canada stands for itself and for the world. Which of these countries do you think would be the first to act in a real crisis? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into global power, alliances, and geopolitics. Stay strong. Stay informed. Stay united.